So you were moving fast, you added someone into QuickBooks as a customer, and then you realize, oops, they are actually a vendor. Now you're wondering, how do I switch them from a customer to a vendor without messing anything up? If that's you, then you're in the right spot. Here's the thing. QuickBooks doesn't have a magic button that turns a customer into a vendor. In fact, it won't even let you use the exact same name in both lists. So if you've already added someone as a customer and now realize they should have been a vendor, and maybe you've already categorized transactions to that customer thinking it was set up correctly as a vendor, don't worry. I'm going to walk you through how to fix it cleanly and make sure everything ends up where it should be. So first of all, we're going to hover over the Expenses tab on the left and click Vendors. Then we're going to click New Vendor at the top right. Now, when you enter their name, make it one character different from the customer name. So if the customer was entered as John Doe, go with something like John J. Doe or John Doe with a V for vendor in parentheses. That little difference is just a temporary workaround so we can make the swap. Then make sure to fill in any other contact info that you need entered here and hit Save at the bottom right. Now we need to track down all of the transactions that are tied to that customer name. To do that, we're going to click on Reports over here on the left menu bar. And here we're going to click on this search bar here. And we're going to search for Transaction List by Customer and click on that to open it up. Now here in the report period, I'm going to select all dates and I'm going to filter it down to just that customer. So to do that, I'm going to click on Filter and set this to Customer and Equals, and then click this drop down and enter our customer's name here. And then select the box beside their name and then select the X. Now we have only the transactions that are tied to that customer name showing here. Now comes the manual part. For each transaction tied to the customer name, the one we created by mistake, we're going to go through and either click on it and edit it and change the name to the new vendor we just set up and click Save, or recreate the transaction under the new vendor and then delete the old transaction. Unfortunately, this can be a bit time consuming and tedious, especially if you have a lot of transactions tied to that customer name, but it's the right way to get your books cleaned up without leaving behind any weird data trails. Now, once you've moved everything over and the customer name is no longer tied to any transactions, next you're going to go back to that customer profile. So either hover over Sales and click Customers, or we can hover over Customers and Leads and click Customers. We're going to find our customer here. Click the little arrow on the far right of that customer and click Make Inactive. QuickBooks is going to check with us to make sure we want to make them inactive. So we'll click Yes, Make Inactive. Next, we want to change our vendor's name back to what it should have been all along now that the duplicate isn't an issue. So hover over the Expenses tab on the left and click Vendors. So we're going to find our vendor and click on them to open them up. Over on the top right, we'll click Edit. And now let's correct that vendor's name here in the vendor display name. Make sure this name is also correct here in the Name to Print on Checks field and any other fields. And then click Save at the bottom right. Now QuickBooks is happy, you're happy, and the books are clean. And hey, if this whole process made you go, yeah, I'd rather not deal with any of this stuff, I totally get it. I help business owners clean up and manage their books so they can get back to doing literally anything else. If you're ready to hand off your bookkeeping to someone who actually enjoys it, shoot me an email. The details are in the description below. I'd love to hear from you.